years. More than a billion dreams. Flipkart's Big Billion Days, India's favorite shopping festival, is back. For every Indian, it's a week of jaw-dropping deals. But for thousands of Flipsters, it's been a year-long adrenaline rush leading up to this moment.
And don't forget, it's also about growth, innovation, and a whole lot of Gen Z energy.
She's right. I think it's time to bring in some Gen Z energy. All right, this is really much cooler. Hi everyone, I'm Priyata Brajbasi, and right now I'm at the Flipkart campus, the backstage where all the magic happens, as it gears up for the 12th edition of India's blockbuster shopping festival. This year, it's all about building for a billion, which is more than just a theme. It's a mission to design every innovation, every campaign, and every customer experience to serve the scale, the diversity, and aspirations of over a billion Indians. At the heart of this mega event is one person who turns plans into buzz and hustle into celebration. Say hello to the force behind bringing all the magic of the Big Billion Days to life. Pratik Shetty, he's the Vice President of Growth and Marketing at Flipkart. Welcome Pratik, thank you so much for taking out the time. I know you're very busy amid the whole buzz of Baby Day. I want to of course start with a fun question to break the ice. If Baby Day were a Bollywood blockbuster, what tagline would you give it?
Well, thanks for having me, Priyata. See, BBD is a place where we feel, everything that you wish for can come true. And it's broadly the tagline that we've used this year, which is Kuch bhi ho sakta hai. So yeah, if it was a blockbuster, I would still have the same tagline, Kuch bhi ho sakta hai.
Yeah, since you are the mind behind the marketing of BBD this year, and of course Flipkart considers BBD not just a discount, sale, but more of a cultural festival. So how do you market something like this?
Yeah, I think when we started our Big Billion Days, the whole endeavor was to let consumers feel something extremely magical. The first time an event like that happened, people had not seen anything like this, right? So when we looked at what we have been doing over the past 10 years, I think from what we give consumers, we've been very consistent, but it almost felt like a need to make people experience this magic outside the platform as well. And that's where when we set out for a marketing objective this year was to say, at every single touch point that the consumer interacts with the brand, we should give him that sense of magic. And that broadly was the brief for every initiative that we've done this year.
So Pratik, what is that one unexpected marketing idea that has made it to this year's BBD?
See, we put the tagline as Kuch bhi ho sakta hai, and actually we try to stay true to that promise to some extent. So the theme film was something a long film that we made, which actually has a lot of elements. That's something which has been disruptive. But there are several more that we're doing. I'll talk about two. One, I think a lot of people have seen already, which is we got R.D. Sharma to phrase all discounts on BBD as math problems. So that's one disruptive idea. The second one I want to speak about is something which no one has done before. Okay, people do activations around airports. People have done some announcements inside plane. We said, is there a new media vehicle that we can unlock? So what we've done is we've taken fields outside the airport. So as when you're landing the plane, we have actually done branding on all the fields around the airport. You see it in Bangalore, you see it in Kanpur and some other airports as well. So think about it as like crop circles being used as branding elements outside airports. So when you're landing, you see Big Billion Days everywhere. So that's another thing that we are experimenting with this year.
That's really interesting. And you mentioned the word disruption and disruptive time and again. I do want to get your thoughts on that, because disruption has become one of those words, it's become a phenomena that has become big in the marketing world. So what does that mean for Flipkart, especially in terms of the Big Billion Days?
See, I think disruption is something which helps you stand out from the noise. There's a lot of clutter out there in the market. You need to give your message out there and ensure that the consumer notices you and understands your message. The first thing you have to do is ensure that you're standing out, and that's what disruption does for you. And this is important for every single piece that you do. It's not going about saying, hey, let me create a disruptive idea. It's about ensuring that when you are out there delivering your campaign, first question is, how do you ensure that you are standing out from the crowd? And that's broadly what disruption means. It's almost hygiene right now.
So you're saying that disruption doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come up with something completely new, but it can just be something that is familiar, but in a more innovative way.
Yeah, so it could be something which no one has done before. It could be something which people have tried but never thought about it in this manner, right? But it always has to be something which gets consumer attention. That's broadly the metric you go for.
So what do you think that Flipkart has done, that one thing that Flipkart has done that has changed the way that people shop online?
One thing, there are several things. One is, of course, we made a lot of products accessible. Okay, if you think about it, you were sitting in a small town, you didn't have products available just a click away. And that's what Flipkart enabled a long time back. We also made people comfortable with online shopping by ensuring there are services like cash on delivery available. And then we also made shopping accessible in the sense that if you want financing options, things like buy now, pay later, and no cost EMI. These are things that we've enabled to ensure that people are comfortable with online shopping, they have accessibility, and they have a range of products. So these are a lot of things which Flipkart brought first to the market.
So in that way, Flipkart has been the disruptor in online shopping experience.
True disruptor in India.
Yeah. Talking about bringing back the magic, what does that mean in terms of the BBD this time?
Okay, let me explain this. When we started BBD, we gave a pen drive for Rupee 1, and that created this whole sense that, oh wow, this is possible. I didn't know that. Now we've gone, traversed some journey, right? The question really is, when someone buys a product, even if you buy a new dress, okay, it's not just the fact that I've got this dress delivered to me, I wear it, I'm walking on the street, okay, I'm walking on the street and I'm actually imagining, oh, people are noticing my dress. Okay, that's broadly the emotion people associate with the stuff they buy. Now, how do I kind of take that emotion and give it slight sense of escalation and say, it is not just people are noticing you, your life is actually beginning to change because of the things that you're buying on Flipkart Big Billion Days and the kind of value that we are providing to you. That's broadly what we are trying to elevate and create this world of magic.
So it's nostalgia. So is it something else? I mean, what world are you trying to build with when you say that we're bringing back the magic?
I think what we are trying to build is almost to say, you bought a product and your journey with that product doesn't end there. It's what happens to your life because of the product that you've bought on Big Billion Days. That's what is also magical about it. That's broadly the world that we are trying to play in. It's not necessarily nostalgia. Nostalgia could be because we've used R.D. Sharma in one of our activations, but there are a lot of other things that we're doing. So when you see all the legs of the campaign actually unfold, you will realize that it's more than just that.
Pratik, talk about that one wow factor that customers can expect or are already experiencing in this entire marketing campaign for the Big Billion Days.
I think what they're experiencing right now is first, we've got this whole list of people out there in one single commercial, and what was different about it was none of them were the focal point. The consumer was the focal point of the commercial. Typically what tends to happen is, if you get a lot of these stars, they become the focal point. We said, you know what, they are adding to the experience of the consumer. At the end of the day, consumer is at the center of this. That broadly is point one. I think point two was we pulled off a coup. We just managed to get R.D. Sharma somehow, because we've all grown up on R.D. Sharma. To see him in person is something which we never expected would happen.
And Gen Z has also been a focal point in this entire campaign, right?
Yes, so Gen Z remains a focal point for us. I think one interesting data point for us is that we used to have this age group of 25 to 34, which was our biggest consumer segment. Over the course of this year, what we've also seen is Gen Z, both in terms of the people, the sheer number of people who visit our platform, as well as our customers right now, they have reached at par with our biggest customer base, and that has happened over the course of the last 8 to 9 months, where they've really come on Flipkart. So they've definitely been focused for us. In terms of how we reach out to them, if you've seen the main film as well, what we've tried to see is, are there elements which we can use to connect with them better? We've done these activations, right? Even the R.D. Sharma one, you will see that the connect with Gen Z is far more there. He just released something yesterday where we are talking to bachelors, because bachelors don't live in houses, they live in caves. Right? So how do we enable their caves to actually become proper houses is what is the other thing that we are doing. So a lot of small things that we're doing to connect with Gen Z. Apart from this, we have with live commerce on our platform, which is another way to reach out to them. We have a content-led commerce program. Won't talk a lot about it, but safe to say it's the biggest in the country.
So Pratik, in the lead up to the Big Billion Days, what are the early trends that you're seeing? Some interesting early trends that you're seeing?
Okay, as far as momentum itself is concerned, for us, what we've seen is from July onwards, we've seen an uptick in momentum on all possible metrics, whether it be organic traffic, whether it be customer growth, whether it be unit growth on categories, or even your revenue growth. There's a sudden uptick which has happened since July, and we've seen that momentum heading into festive. In terms of trends, there are certain categories which are actually starting to grow really fast for us. So while I keep mobiles, large and electronics as some of our focus categories which we head into festive, but while we have seen a lot of action happening over the last few months is beauty. And this is driven also a lot by customers in tier 2 and tier 3 plus towns. Products like Korean beauty, which is also becoming big not only in metros but outside. You have categories like apparel and fashion, which is actually growing very fast for us. And here we've seen both the branded and the unbranded portfolio grow. This is one of the first times where we've seen the premium portfolio growing as well as the unbranded lower ASP portfolio grow at par with it. So that's broadly what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, and since Gen Z is a focal point, what are they buying? What are the interesting trends that you're seeing from the perspective of your Gen Z customers?
So, see, the thing about categories like mobile phones is it's for everyone, right? So whether it be Gen Z, whether it be for millennials, everyone buys a mobile phone. But the interesting difference comes when you're looking at categories like fashion, right? You see your typical millennial consumer going after things which they have some assurance on quality. They'll try and say that, you know what, this is nice, this is something which can make me presentable. Whereas Gen Z doesn't think like that. For them, the latest trends matter. It doesn't matter how many times I wear that shirt. By the way, the other thing we've also observed among our consumers is a group of 5 people are buying 5 clothes and they keep on swapping with each other. There's another interesting aspect to how they shop, right? So for them, what matters is, am I getting something which is in vogue, right? Am I getting it at the right value? And yeah, that's broadly what we've seen happen in Gen Z. Apart from that, they've also become consumers for categories like beauty for us as well, where we've seen Gen Z customers really pick up.
It's all really interesting, Pratik, but before I let you go, since we're talking about Gen Z so much, I am going to tell you some Gen Z slangs and some
This is
words.
less interesting now.
I'm not very aware of the usage of these words, but I'm going to ask you some words and you have to use them in a sentence to describe the Big Billion Days.
Got it. Okay.
Let's start with Delulu.
You would be delulu to miss Big Billion Days this year.
That's a good one. Riz.
All the categories and all the products that we have this year on Big Billion Days have enough and more risk for you to come again and again.
Okay, Slay.
When you buy a dress from Big Billion Days, trust me, you will slay.
Okay, and finally, Flex.
That new phone that you just bought from us, yeah, that gives you a lot of flex among your friends here.
Thank you so much, Pratik. This has been really fun.
Thanks a lot for having
And thank
me.
you so much for taking out the time. Like I said, I know that you're in the midst of the chaotic Big Billion Days. It's just right around the corner. And
thanks. The
we
pleasure
wish
was
you
all
all
mine.
the best.
Thanks a lot.
And I hope it's a great year for Flipkart.
Thank you.
The campaigns, the hustle, the celebrations, they're all powered by people who dream big, move fast, and make it fun. That is exactly what building for $1 billion looks like. We have a lot more in store for you, but in the meantime, happy shopping at the BBD.